All right, guys, it's your boy Brutus J, and this is the Brutus J Podcast. It's Sunday, December the 21st. We are exactly 4 days away from Christmas. I hope you guys got all of that last weekend or last minute shopping out the way. Some of you are still going to do it on Tuesday, but we're going to get into all that and more. Guys, we have a special guest today that goes by the name of Mr. Khalen Pinkard, a University of Kentucky track and field national champion commit. Is coming on the Brutus J Podcast to conversate about his future. You know, we love the kids on this show. So other than that, we got that and plenty more. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, as I said, this is the Brutus J Podcast, and I am Brutus J. Guys, as I started off my intro, I was telling you that I had a special guest that I was going to interview. I am so proud and blessed to have Mr. Khalen Pinkard join my show. This young man comes from Carrollton High School. He's a track and field state champion in long jump and triple jump, a national champion in triple jump. I mean, this kid is very smart, very bright, comes from a very good family, and we are proud to welcome him on this show. All right, guys, we are here on the Brutus J Podcast, and I am very excited. We have a special guest. I've been telling you guys for the longest that I was going to start interviewing some of these high school athletes, and I am blessed to welcome Mr. Khalen Pinkard on the show today. He is a national champion. I said it right, national champion in triple jump, and also a state champion in the state of Georgia. So we're proud to have Mr. Khalen Pinkard on the show. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on the show.
I know you are, man. Hey, I am proud to have you on here. Hey, how does it feel? You the first guest I done had on here other than my son. So, you know, it's a real honor to have you on here. So I heard the news that you committed to Kentucky.
Yep.
So how to what made you come down to Kentucky? What do you like about the University of Kentucky?
To be honest, it was really like the coach, because I wasn't really worried about the education, because I mean, every school I went to, the education was gonna be fine either way. So it was really just the coach. I mean, it's not every day you get the opportunity to be coached by Coach Sands. He's made it to the Olympics, medaled. So I mean, it was pretty obvious for me.
Okay, that's nice. So how was the recruiting trail?
It was pretty good. You know, going to different colleges, in campus, seeing like the life and day to day and stuff. We went to the football games and stuff like that, so I had a really good time. But towards the later in my recruitment, I was kind of like getting tired, because it was like we was having to travel so much, like back to back. So, but other than that, it was pretty good though.
Well, Kayla, let me tell you something. My son, going through the recruiting process with him, it was long, and you
Yeah,
got it right. It is tiresome, going to each college, hearing all the coaches, say this and that, or what. It's very tiresome. So I am happy you have came down to a
yeah.
decision, because it can be very stressful. And I got to tell you, man, Kentucky, Lexington, you're gonna be going to some of those UK basketball games, so you're gonna be enjoying yourself, man. That's a good thing. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
So as far as Carrollton High School is just, I mean, I went to Central High School, which is across the bridge or
Mhm.
whatever, but of course, Carrollton High School is one of the premier high schools as far as sports, not only in the state of Georgia, but in the nation. So I got to ask you this: what do you want your legacy? How do you want your legacy to be remembered at Carrollton High School?
I want my legacy to be like similar to my sister's. Like everybody, like when you hear Khalen Pinkard, like everybody knows her, like what she did, what she accomplished in her time at Carrollton, and I want my legacy to be something like similar to that. But I want to be like the greatest jumper to ever come through Carrollton. So I'm gonna try to make my record untouchable. That's the plan.
Well, I got to tell you, Kaylin, you are definitely on your way. For those who don't know, he mentioned his sister, Khalen Pinkard. She was the exact same way as him in high school, and she's at Florida State University. So, the Pinkard family, they have a stock of talent in their household. They have a stock of talent. I was just telling him before this show started, I have a 6-year-old, and I'm gonna have to talk to his parents about their secret ingredient, because it's something brewing in that. It's something brewing in that household is making you guys the way you are. All right, I'll tell you, man. I am so happy for you. All right, so another question I have for you, Khalen. Going to the University of Kentucky, what is something that the University of Kentucky can look forward to in having you on campus?
I mean, they can look forward to obviously a good jumper, like athletically, but they can also look forward to like a good person because like I'm very kind and I care about people and like I'm hardworking. I get my work done, so it won't be any problems academically. So I'll be a good, hardworking student and hopefully break a lot of records on the track. So
Hey, I love hearing that, man. I love hearing that, especially that academics part. So you hear that, University of Kentucky? Y'all got yourselves a good kid coming to Lexington.
thank you.
So, how did your family help out as far we know what they did as far as the training and stuff, but
Mhm.
was your family did you think about your family, when it came to the decision? Like being away from home, being so far away from home, how did that
Yeah.
factor in?
Well, when I was trying to decide like which college I wanted to go to, I didn't want to like go somewhere too far to where they wouldn't be able to come to the meets and stuff.
Mm,
For example, Houston, like they would have to fly out there, or like Purdue, they would have to fly out there. But like Kentucky, Florida State, that's like within driving distance, so they would be able to come
mhm,
to the meet stuff like that, and like it's not too
mhm.
far either, so I wouldn't have to like fly coming back home and stuff like that.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Well, I got to tell you this. I know your mom and your dad are very, very proud of you, and throughout your whole career, all that hard work and training, believe me, it's all gonna pay off. So you keep doing what you're doing, but always remember, academics is first.
Hmm.
Academics is first. I tell my son that to this day. He's a senior getting ready to graduate. And I continue telling him this academics, is more important than anything. But I wish you the best, Kalen, and I really do appreciate you coming on my show. So you have a good night and tell your mom I said thanks because I know if it weren't for her, you wouldn't be in front of me right now. And also tell your dad also the same thing. So you have a good night, man. Thank you for joining the Brutus J Podcast, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
All right. How about that? That was a fantastic interview by a great kid who comes from a good family. You heard what that kid said about his legacy? He wants his legacy to be similar to his sister. That lets you know that is a very tight knit family. Mr. Khalen Pinkard comes from a great family, and we are proud of him and we wish him the best at the University of Kentucky. As I said, we're going to have more interviews to come, and that right there was just the beginning. And once again, we thank you again, Mr. Khalen Pinkard. So, guys, how about this weekend in sports? A lot going on, a lot of upset people. I know I'm upset as a fan. Y'all should be. You should be upset, but we're going to get into, of course, college football, NBA, NFL, college basketball as far as men's and women's, and we're going to get into sporting news going on around the world. We're even going to talk about Jake Paul getting knocked out. I know it's a lot of people who are excited about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But yes, college football was a mess, and I'm just gonna say the college football committee, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. We know you're not gonna own up to it because you ain't gonna do it. You gonna think you're right, but us as fans, we got a right to call you out. You got it wrong. James Madison did not belong in the college football playoffs. Lane Green Wave did not belong in the college football playoffs. As fans, we shouldn't have had to endure that. We knew what was coming. We knew what was coming. On the other hand, the Alabama and Oklahoma game was a good game, and that's what we're going to start off with. Alabama traveled to Norman, Oklahoma, where it was supposed to snow. They probably wish they would have had some snow, but it didn't happen because the Tide showed up and they showed out. Alabama won this game by the score of 34-24. The Tide fell 17-0 and came back to win this game. Alabama will move on to face Indiana in the Rose Bowl. And I got to tell you, I said it in the beginning, I think Alabama is fixing to go on the run. I don't think they're going to win it all, but I think they're going to go on the run. Let's say it how it is. I mean, I like you, Kurt Cignati, but it's time for a tradition to take its place. I think Alabama goes to California and rolls in the Rose Bowl against Indiana. Stats wise, Ty Simpson, 18-29, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. Alabama as a team only had 28 yards rushing. 28 yards rushing as a team. So that lets you know defense was definitely in play in this game. John Mateer, 26 for 41, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 horrific interception that took all the way for 6 points. Tony Blaylock, 11 carries, 36 yards. Oklahoma combined for 55 total yards rushing in this game. The only negative out of this game, man, what in the world is going on with what in the world is going? I mean, Ryan Williams, 1 catch, 5 yards. I don't know if he done checked out or what, but he's gonna have to pick it up within the next couple of weeks when they play Indiana. I think they can win without him, but he needs to show up. He needs to show up. So once again, the Tide defeat Oklahoma by a score of 34-24, and they will move on to face Indiana in the Rose Bowl. James Madison traveled to Eugene, Oregon to face the Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks defeated James Madison by the score of 51-34. Folks, at halftime, it was 34-3. 34-3 at halftime. You want to hear the stats for this? Normally on a regular week, when I'm calling out scores, when I see a game like this, I don't even go on stats. That lets you know how disappointed I am. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one disappointed. Alonzo Barnett for James Madison. 23 for 48, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing. Now, I will say this, James Madison combined for 323 yards rushing. Oregon's defense is going to have to step it up. They're definitely going to have to step it up. That next round, they losing. I'm telling you that now. They are losing if they don't step up their defense. That's wise for Oregon. Dante Moore, 19-27, 313 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 horrific interceptions. Oregon combined for 1 yards rushing. Oregon's next opponent will be Texas Tech. And I got to tell you, Texas Tech is the most balanced team in this playoffs. And if they do not show up in the Capital One Orange Bowl against Texas Tech, they will get blowed out. I'm telling you now, they will get blowed out. Texas Tech is a legit team. As a matter of fact, I can go ahead and give you my pick now. I picked Texas Tech to win this game. But believe it or not, Oregon is favored to win this game. Oregon is favored to win this game, but I guess we shall see. All right, the next massacre of the night was Ole Miss. Ole Miss was at home against Tulane. Earlier, Ole Miss and Tulane played earlier this year, and the score was 45-10 in a dominant performance. This time, another dominant performance. Ole Miss defeated Tulane by the score of 41-10. So as a member of the college football committee, well, I'm not a member, but if you saw that score the first time, why in the world would you have where they face each other again in the college football playoffs? Good question, right? All right, let's get to it. Ole Miss stats. Trinidad Shambliss, 23 of 29, 282 yards, 1 touchdown. Ewan Lacey, 15 carries for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. Trinidad Shambliss, 6 carries, 36 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ole Miss combined for 151 yards rushing. Tulane, Jake Resclaff, 20 of 35, 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tulane combined for 115 yards rushing. This game should have never happened. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Texas, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, 2 out of 3 of those teams should have been in the college football playoffs to replace these teams. James Madison and Tulane had no business in this. Ole Miss' next opponent will be against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. First time they met, Georgia barely got by Ole Miss. The only difference in the next game is no Lane Kiffin. So we'll see how this game goes. I picked Georgia to win this game. All right, guys, let's get to some NFL. Currently, right now, Patriots and Ravens just tipped off 0-0. 13 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first quarter. Minnesota Vikings defeated the Giants by the score of 16-13. J.J. McCartney exited the game with a broken hand, so his season is probably over. Minnesota's eliminated from playoff contention anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Before he left the game, he was 9 of 14, 108 yards, and 1 interception, and he was sacked 3 times. Aaron Jones, 21 carries for 85 yards. As far as the Giants, Jackson Dart, 7 of 13, 33 yards, and 1 interception. That's a horrific day. Tyrone Tracy, 16 carries, 71 yards. As I said, the Vikes defeated the Giants by the score of 16-13. Saints defeated the Jets 29-6. I gotta tell you, the Jets, they still trying to battle for that top that top draft pick. They doing a good job at doing it. They doing a good job. The Saints moved to 5-10. Tyler Shore, 32 of 49, 308 yards, 1 touchdown. Jason Hill, 12 carries for 42 yards. I got to tell you, the Saints, Tyler Short hasn't looked that bad, but if you New Orleans, you still got to draft another quarterback. You just got to. Buffalo Bills defeated the Cleveland Browns by the score of 23-20. Josh Allen was 12 of 19, 130 yards. He was sacked twice for 35 yards. James Cook was the star of the game, 16 carries, 117 yards. Buffalo combined for 164 total yards. If you're interested in Mr. Shador Sanders, he was 20 of 29, 157 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He also carried the ball 4 times for 49 yards in a losing effort. The Titans, how about the Titans defeated the Kansas City Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes, by the way, 26-9. Rookie Cam Ward was 21 of 28, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked twice for 16 yards. Tony Pollard, 21 carries, 102 yards. They combined for 164 total rush yards on the Chiefs. So, as I said, Patrick Mahomes was a no-go in this game. It ain't no reason to go over the Chiefs' stats. Chargers defeated the Cowboys, who are now officially eliminated from playoff contention. So now we can be relieved. We don't have to listen to the Cowboys saying they're going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win it this year. Shout out to my coworker, Mr. Martin. He loves his Cowboys. All right, Justin Herbert was 23 for 29, 300 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Omari Hampton, UNC guy, 16 carries, 85 yards. Chargers combined for 152 total rush yards. Dak Prescott was 21 of 30, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right, Buccaneers were on the road against the Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina Panthers defeated the Bucs 23-20. How about that? The Carolina Panthers are about to win the NFC South. They are moving closer and closer. Whoever would have thought that? Whoever would have thought that? Baker Mayfield was 18 of 26, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ricky Irvin, 19 carries for 71 yards. The Bucs combined for 169 yards rushing. Bryce Young for the Panthers was 21 of 32, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rico Dowdle had 9 carries, 29 yards. Panthers combined for 101 total yards rushing, but was still able to squeak out the victory, and as I said, are close to clinching the NFC South. Bengals defeated the Dolphins by the score of 45-21. Joe Burrow was 25 of 32, 309 yards, 4 touchdowns, sacked twice for 11 yards. Chase Brown, 12 carries for 66 yards. So, hey, Joe Burrow had a good game after last week saying he ain't having no fun. Had some of them Cincinnati Bengal fans looking a little nervous, thinking that Cincinnati were going to possibly try to trade him. Quinn Ewers was 20 for 30, 260 yards. No touchdowns and 2 interceptions for the Miami Dolphins. A-Chain had 15 carries for 81 yards. The Dolphins combined for 129 yards rushing in a losing effort. Jacksonville Jaguars defeated the Broncos 34-20. I tell you, man, the Jaguars ain't nothing to play with. They just snapped a winning streak today. So shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road. I told y'all, Trevor Lawrence starting to get it. 23 for 36, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns for Lawrence. He was sacked 5 times for 14 yards. The offensive line got to get better. ETN, 16 carries for 50 yards. And the Broncos, Bo Nix, 28 for 47, 352 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. R.J. Harvey, 7 carries, 50 yards. Broncos combined for 101 total yards in a losing effort. Falcons, how about them Birds? Going to 6-9 now. Defeated the Cardinals in Arizona by the score of 26-19. All right, Falcons. Hopefully it still ain't enough to keep Raheem in the building. I still think he's going after this year. Win or lose. Kirk Cousins, Captain Kirk, was 21 to 35, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Tyler Algier, 16 carries, 79 yards. Bijan Robinson, 16 carries, 76 yards. So the Falcons combined for 152 rush yards. Jacoby Brissett was 16 to 31, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception in a losing effort. Raiders were on the road against the Houston Texans. They actually kept it close. Houston defeated the Raiders by the score of 23-21. Geno Smith was 16 to 23 for 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Singenti, 24 carries, 128 yards, and 1 touchdown. So a good game for the rookie. Good game for the rookie. CJ Stroud was 23 of 35, 187 yards, and 1 touchdown. Aha Jordan, 15 carries, 53 yards. And the Houston Texans combined for 83 total rush yards as they defeated the Raiders 23-21. Big victory for the Steelers on the road as they defeated the Detroit Lions by the score of 29-24. I can hear my son screaming now. The Steelers are looking like they're on their way to winning the division title. That's wise for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, 27 for 41, 266 yards, 1 touchdown. Steelers combined, get this, for 230 yards rushing. Jaylen Warren, 14 carries, 143 yards. I got to tell you, hey, if Pittsburgh can run good with a mixture of Aaron Rodgers, they can be deadly in the playoffs. I can tell you that now. Meanwhile, what in the world is going on with the Detroit Lions? I just don't know what is going on with Dan Campbell. Jared Goff, 34 of 54, 164 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sacked 3 times for 18 yards. David Montgomery, 4 carries, 14 yards. How in the world did Jamar Gibbs carry the ball for 7 times, 2 yards? Folks, they ran the ball a total of 12 times. You got to run the ball, Detroit. You got to run the ball. You ain't going to win like that, flat out. All right. Thursday slate, if many don't know, the Seahawks defeated the Rams in OT by the score of 38-37. And then we also had Saturday's games where the Eagles defeated the Commanders by the score of 29-18. And the Bears defeated the Packers in overtime 22-16. Man, I got to tell you, man, Chicago Bears, man, and Caleb Williams, man, they starting to look real good, man. I got to tell you, in the playoffs, hey, it gets cold. That's all I can tell you. It gets cold, but it gets cold in the playoffs. So, if the Bears get that 1 or 2 seed, they could be something to be reckoned with in the playoffs. So shout out to the Chicago Bears because, we all know Caleb Williams done been through a lot. All right, guys, let's talk some NBA. All right, we're going to do Saturday and Sunday game. Saturday night, you had the Rockets defeated the Nuggets 115-101. The 76ers defeated the Mavericks 121-114. The Celtics defeated the Raptors 112-96. The Pelicans defeated the Pacers 128-109. The Pistons defeated the Hornets 112-86. The Wizards defeated the Grizzlies 130-122. The Warriors defeated the Suns 119-116. And the Magic defeated the Jazz 128-127. And the Trailblazers defeated the Kings 98-93. And finally, the Clippers defeated the Lakers 103-88. Sunday slate. The Spurs currently lead the Wizards 80-61 in the third quarter. The Bucks are leading the Timberwolves in the third quarter 68-58. The Bulls all over I'll take that back. I thought it was 152-100. The Bulls defeated the Hawks 152-150. Guys, that is a lot of points scored in the game. A lot of points. The Nets defeated the Raptors 96-81. The Knicks defeated the Heat 132-125. And the Rockets and Kings play a little later on at 10 o'clock. Shout out to the Knicks too. They won the in tournament. So congratulations to the New York Knicks. I don't really look at that as a big accomplishment for whatever it is. I mean, I picked the Knicks to go to the championship, but that in-season tournament or whatever, I'm not a fan of that at all. At all. All right, let's talk some college basketball. Saturday night, men's. North Carolina defeated Ohio State in the CBS Sports Classic by the score of 71-70. Michigan State defeated Oakland 79-70. Louisville defeated Montana 94-54. Kentucky defeated St. John's 78-66. Houston defeated Arkansas 94-85. Virginia defeated Maryland 80-72. Purdue defeated Auburn 88-60, and Texas Tech upset Duke Blue. That was by the score of 82-81, and Arizona defeated San Diego State 6-45. All right, so that's pretty much done for the men on Saturday. Sunday slate, Nebraska is currently facing North Dakota, and they are trailing in that game 16-11. Florida defeated Colgate 90-60. Vanderbilt defeated Wake Forest 98-67. Alabama all over Kennesaw State 92-81. Tennessee defeated Gardner-Webb 94-52. Michigan 102, LaSalle 50. UConn 72, DePaul 54. Ohio State defeated Long Beach State 91-60, and Gonzaga defeated Oregon 91-82. All right, let's talk about these women. Let's do Saturday's slate first. Louisville defeated Tennessee 89-65. Vanderbilt defeated Texas Southern 96-46. Princeton defeated George Mason 71-69. UConn defeated Iowa 90-64. South Carolina all over FGCU 105-43. UCLA defeated Long Beach State 106-44, and TCU defeated Kansas State 77-55. Sunday slate as far as the women. Notre Dame defeated Bellarmine 108-31. Ole Miss is currently leading Old Dominion by the score of 34-19. And check that, Notre Dame and Bellarmine are currently playing right now. It's the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, and Notre Dame is leading in this game 108-31. USC is currently facing California, and they're up in the first quarter by the score of 5-4. LSU all over UT Arlington 110-45. Michigan all over Oakland 97-54. North Carolina defeated Charleston Southern 93-74. Nebraska defeated CA Baptist 87-56. Iowa State defeated Kansas 79-76. Texas defeated South Dakota State 70-51. Texas Tech defeated Baylor 61-60. Washington defeated Pacific 90-50, and Michigan State all over Indiana State by the score of 115-66. And that concludes men's and college basketball. What a weekend it has been. I'm telling somebody they about to get into conference play, in men's and women's college basketball, and things are going to start getting deep I know it's far away, but before you know it, March Madness will be here. Now, looks like the Ravens have just went up over the Patriots by the score of 7-0. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. All right, now let's talk about some stuff that happened today. So during the Steelers Detroit game, DK Metcalf was spotted hitting a fan. I mean, how much of this are we going to put up with in sports? Nobody saw it. The referee didn't see it, but cameras caught it. So I'm pretty sure at the end of this game, he's going to get suspended, or he should have been ejected. He's going to be suspended, fined, and I would not doubt if that fan was to try to press some kind of charge or something more is coming. But it's just, it's not a place in the game for stuff to be happening like that. I mean, he's grown. He knows better than that. Chiefs fear Minchoff may have suffered a torn ACL tear. So, he actually was Patrick Mahomes' replacement. So now the Chiefs are going to have to deal with 2 quarterbacks also. The Chiefs are in a tough situation right now. Jerry Jones speaking up. Jerry, I always got to say what he got to say. He says that the Cowboys underachieved in 2025. Of course they did, Jerry. Of course they did. Of course. Yep, of course. Well, guys, it has been a wonderful show, and it is about to be a great week. I hope you guys are going to get what you wish for this Christmas. I hope I do. Actually, I don't even know if my wife even actually give me anything. I told her I wouldn't get her nothing, but guys, we can't do that. We just can't do that. You show up at Christmas, don't have your wife nothing, you might as well be in the doghouse for the rest of 2026. But of course, I got my beautiful wife something. She deserves it. She take care of the home. She take care of the kids. She take care of me. You already know the wives are the real boss in the household. If y'all didn't know that already, man. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. I don't think I'm gonna have a Christmas show Thursday night. I may or may not. If I do, it might be Wednesday night. I might try to sneak one in Tuesday or just Friday. We'll have to see. But we definitely are going to have a show this week. But until then, I want to thank once again for Mr. Khalen Pinkard for being a guest on the Brutus J Podcast show. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. You already know my saying, work smarter, not harder. And I will see and talk to you guys again. Have a wonderful week. And thank you for tuning in to the Brutus J Podcast show.